to talk in silence, how to smile when we were scared. So many words between us, but none of them were shared. I felt the truth inside your eyes every time you looked away. We built a wall of almost and called it okay. We kept saying maybe later, like time would understand. But love doesn't wait forever when it's never said out loud. This is what we never said. All the love stuck in our heads. Every I need you, every don't go, buried where fear always lives. We let silence choose for us, let it tear us slowly apart. Now I'm left with everything we never said, still breaking my heart. I replay every conversation, looking for a sign you stayed. You spoke in careful distances, I listened anyway. I wanted to ask you to fight for me, but my voice wouldn't rise. I was scared to lose you, so I lost you quietly inside. You waited for me to be brave, I waited for you to try. We both stood there loving each other, but neither said stay. This is what we never said, all the truth we never bled. Every I'm hurting, every I'm scared, we swallowed instead. We let silence be the answer, let it speak louder than love. Now I'm drowning in the weight of everything we never said enough. Love shouldn't feel like holding breath, like one wrong word means the end. It shouldn't live between the lines or depend on who speaks first. If I had known silence could break us, I would have screamed your name. But fear sounds like quiet, and quiet let us fade. Maybe you thought I didn't care, maybe I thought the same. Two hearts full of honesty, too afraid to say a name. Now you're just a memory I carry when it's late. A love that never ended, because it never fully began. This is what we never said, all the love we left for dead. Every chance we didn't take, every word we never meant to keep. I don't hate you, I don't blame you, I just wish we'd been brave. 'Cause the hardest goodbyes are the ones we never said. Some loves don't break with anger, they fade in quiet regret. I'll always wonder who we were if we'd said what we never said. I had nothing else to choose. Your promises felt borrowed, your touch was never mine. I was building something permanent with love that changed its mind. I kept mistaking almost for enough, called your distance being scared, but love that's real doesn't feel unsure. Leave me half prepared. Your love felt temporary, mine was trying to stay. I planned forever in my heart while you were passing through my days. You said I care but never meant it the way I needed you to do. I wasn't asking for forever, just something that felt true. You disappeared in small ways first, a text, a touch, a name. I noticed everything you changed, but stayed the same. I learned how to lower my expectations so I wouldn't feel the fall, but even that still broke my heart because I gave you all. You loved me when it was easy, when I didn't need too much, but love doesn't leave when it gets heavy or forget how to touch. Your love felt temporary, like it had an end in sight. You held me only in the moments that didn't ask you to fight. I stayed loyal to you, maybe you stayed distant, you stayed unsure. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate that I stayed for more. Love shouldn't feel replaceable or like I'm just a face. It shouldn't come with conditions or disappear in quiet ways. If you knew you couldn't stay, you should have let me go. Don't teach my heart to settle for love that doesn't grow. Now I'm learning how to trust again without rewriting the past. I loved you like it was permanent, that's why it didn't last. Some hearts are meant to hold you, some loves are just a test. You were a lesson dressed as home, and I loved you the best. Your love felt temporary, but mine was all I had. I gave you my whole truth, you gave me something half. I won't beg for what won't stay, but try to make you sure. I'm done confusing loneliness with love that feels temporary. I didn't imagine the distance, I didn't ask for too much. You just loved me like a moment, and I loved you like forever. I felt you leaving in the quiet long before you said goodbye. Your eyes stopped asking for my heart, but mine still tried. You stood right next to me, but something wasn't there. I was holding all of us while you were already somewhere else. I kept believing love meant patience, that stay improved I cared. But love shouldn't feel like fighting for someone who isn't there. I held on, you let go. I felt it long before you showed. I was building something real, you were already letting it fold. I stayed when it hurt the most. You chose peace, you chose alone. I didn't lose you suddenly. I held on, you let go. I learned how to soften my needs so you wouldn't feel the weight. I stopped asking you to stay, started asking how to wait. You called distance finding yourself, I called it losing us. I was drowning in the silence while you said this is enough. You said you cared in careful ways that never asked you to try. I gave you everything I had. You gave me a goodbye in disguise. I held on, you let go. You left quietly, I broke slow. I stayed loyal to the love we had. You stayed loyal to your road. I forgave what you couldn't fix. I waited where you outgrew. I didn't fall out of love with you. I was left when you did. Love shouldn't feel like being chosen only when it's convenient. It shouldn't feel like I'm the only one still believing. If holding on cost me myself, then letting go is overdue. I won't keep breaking my own heart just to prove I loved you. Maybe one day you'll miss the way I loved you without fear. But I won't be waiting anymore when that day appears. Some endings don't come with blame, just truth we couldn't ignore. I held on to what we were. You let go of what we could have been. I held on, you let go, and now I finally know love can be real and still be wrong when it's carried alone. I'm choosing me, I'm letting go of the parts I lost with you. I didn't fail at loving you, I just held on too long. Some hearts break loudly, some break slow and low. This one broke quietly. I held on, you let go. I stare at my phone like it owes me a truth. 3 dots that never come through. Your name lights up and fades away, like you're not sure what to do. I type a line and erase it twice, trying not to sound afraid. There's more space between your replies than the words we ever say. I used to feel you in every message, now I'm guessing what you mean. It's not what you say that hurts the most, it's the quiet in between. It's the quiet between our texts that's louder than goodbye. The hours where I hold my breath and tell myself you're just like a sentence. I never wanted to know. You don't say you're leaving, but I feel it in how slow you go. You used to send me, "Are you home?" Now it's "Sorry, fell asleep." Your voice feels farther every night. Even when you say you miss me, I replay every low you send like it hides something true. I'm learning how to read your tone the way you'd rather I didn't do. I don't ask if something's wrong, I already feel the change. Love doesn't fade all at once, it leaves in small delays. It's the quiet between our texts that's breaking me in two. Not the words you didn't type, it's knowing you chose not to. I wait with my phone face down like maybe that will help, but every silence says the same thing. You're already somewhere else. Love shouldn't feel like waiting rooms or counting dots that never appear. It shouldn't make me doubt my worth every time you disappear. If you don't wanna say goodbye, just say you don't feel the same. Don't leave me here refreshing hope while silence speaks your name. Maybe I'm holding on to nothing now, just habits we never broke. A good night text that lost its meaning, a heart emoji we never spoke. I still check my phone at midnight, even though I already know the quiet isn't accidental. It's your way of letting go. It's the quiet between our texts where I finally understand. You don't need to say you're done to slowly let go of my hand. I'll stop waiting for a reply that never comes through. The loudest thing you ever said was the silence you left me with. No fights, no closure, no goodbye, just space where love used to exist. I didn't lose you in a message, I lost you in the quiet between our texts. We stood so close to forever, close enough to believe. Every dream fell within reach, every promise incomplete. You looked at me like you meant it, like staying was an option then. I held on to every almost, called it more than a friend. We never crossed the line completely, never turned the maybe true. I built a future in the silence while you were deciding what to do. We almost meant everything, almost became something real. I felt the love in the moments you refused to feel. We were one step from forever, my hand like it mattered, then pulled away too soon. You said the timing was wrong, I said nothing, I knew. I learned how to smile through heartbreak that never had a name. Losing someone you never had still hurts just the same. You said maybe in another life, like love could wait its turn. But hearts don't heal on someday, they break and burn. We almost meant everything, almost became the truth. I gave you my whole heart, you gave me just enough proof. We were so close to choosing us, so close to letting it stay. Almost meant everything, but you walked away. Love shouldn't live in question marks or hide behind the fear. It shouldn't need perfect timing to be sincere. If you felt it even a little, you should have said my name. I would have crossed the whole world for you instead of staying halfway. Now I pass the places we imagine, like they still remember us. I hear your laugh in strangers' voices, it still hits just because. I don't regret loving you softly or hoping we'd align. I just wish almost wasn't the closest we got to mine. We almost meant everything, almost changed our lives. I stayed brave enough to love you, you stayed afraid to try. Now I'm learning how to let go of the future we didn't make. Almost meant everything, that's what hurts to take. Some loves don't end in fire, they fade without a sound. We were never really broken, just never fully found. You used to fight for every moment, every we, every us. Now you watch the distance grow like it's not dangerous. You say you're tired, say you're lost, say love shouldn't feel this hard. But you stopped reaching for my hand long before you stopped calling it ours. I can't believe in love survives if someone still believes. But love can't live on one heartbeat when the other refuses to breathe. You stopped choosing us, stopped choosing me. I was standing in the wreckage, begging you to see. I stayed loyal to the promise you forgot we made. You didn't fall out of love all at once, you just stopped choosing to stay. You left in quiet decisions, not the kind you say out loud. One less call, one less question, one more space in the crowd. I felt a shift before you named it, before said you needed time alone. I gave you everything, but love shouldn't feel like I'm in the way of the life you wanna live. You stopped choosing us, and I chose to stay. I carried all the weight of love you put away. I kept hoping you'd come back around, that we'd find our way, but love doesn't disappear in anger. It fades when someone stops choosing to stay. Love shouldn't feel optional, like I'm asking too much. It shouldn't feel like I'm replaceable or easy to give up. If you knew you couldn't choose us, you should have said it out loud. Don't leave me loving someone who already checked out. Maybe someday you'll miss the way I loved without conditions, but I won't wait in the space you left between indecision. I'm learning how to let go now, even though it hurts to say I didn't lose you to someone else. I lost you to your choice to walk away. You stopped choosing us, and now I finally see love needs more than history to keep it breathing. Hey, I'm choosing myself this time. I'm choosing truth, not fear. I won't stay where I'm the only one still choosing what's here. Some endings don't come with blame, just silence we can't outrun. You didn't stop loving me loudly, you stopped choosing us, yeah. Didn't slam the door behind you, you left it halfway wide, like you wanted to come back someday or just watch me try. Your shoes are still by the hallway, your name's still in my phone. You moved on in small decisions, but left me living in the in-between alone. You said this is for the best, like pain understands, but love doesn't leave a reason to reason what we can unhand. Love doesn't leave cleanly, it stains everything it touches. Your absence still feels personal, like unfinished sentences. You walked away so carefully, like you didn't want to be the one. But love doesn't end politely, it stays long after you're gone. I still reach for you at midnight, when the room feels too quiet. I argue with your memory, like maybe it'll get tired. You took the easy parts of us, left the weight with me. I'm cleaning up the mess of love you left behind carelessly. You didn't break me all at once, you faded slow and soft, and somehow that hurt worse than knowing exactly when we were lost. Love doesn't leave cleanly, it lingers in the air, in the way I still for loving just enough to hurt, but not enough to mend. I don't regret the way I loved or the parts I gave to you. I just wish leaving didn't mean taking parts of me too. Love doesn't leave cleanly, it leaves a mark, a trace. Almost every maybe still written on my face. I'm learning how to let you go, but healing takes its time. 'Cause love doesn't leave politely, lingers long after goodbye. Some goodbyes don't come with closure, just echoes you can't outrun. Love doesn't leave cleanly, it leaves you undone. I miss the way you said my name, like it still belonged to you. The way you'd listen without rushing, like nothing else could do. You used to look at me like home, now I'm just a place you've been. I'm standing with the same old love, but you're someone different. I keep searching for the moment where we started to drift. Love didn't disappear, suddenly it changed, and I stayed with it. I miss the way you were before the distance grew, before your touch felt temporary, before I started missing you. I don't hate who you are now, but it's breaking my heart. I'm still loving who you used to be, while you're already some far. You laugh the same, but it sounds different, like I'm not in the room. Your silence speaks in louder ways than the words you choose. I ask how you are, you say I'm fine, like that explains it all. But I remember when you tell me things you never tell at all now. You don't notice when I pull away, or when I start to wake. I'm grieving someone still alive, and it's a loss I can't escape. I miss the way you were when loving me was easy, before I felt like I was asking for something you used to give freely. I'm holding on to memories while you're learning how to move. I'm still loving who you were then, and that's the part that hurts the most to lose. Love shouldn't feel like a memory while you're still here with me. It shouldn't feel like I'm the only one fighting to believe. If you don't feel it anymore, just say it, let me know. Don't let me fall in love each day with someone you're letting go. Maybe time changed both of us, maybe I just stayed the same. But I know the love I gave was never part of the game. I don't blame you for becoming someone new or choosing a different view. I just wish you left me sooner, before I fell for who you're not anymore. I miss the way you were, but I can't live there now. I can't keep chasing echoes of a love you don't know how to give me now. I'll carry the good with me, even as I move on through. I didn't stop loving you suddenly, I just miss the way you were. Some loves don't end in anger, they fade as people change. I'll always love the version of you that knew how to stay. We didn't shatter all at once, no screaming in the dark, just nights that felt a little colder, hearts drifting apart. Your laughter started sounding far, even when you were close. I held on to the warmth we had while it slowly let me go. Love didn't stop, it softened first and learned to disappear. We didn't lose each other suddenly, we just stopped being here. We didn't break, we faded like colors in the sun, still standing side by side when the feeling was already gone. I kept reaching for your hand, you stopped reaching back. We didn't end in anger, we ended in what we lacked. Stop telling me your dreams, I stopped asking why. We learned how to survive the days by letting things slide. Our I love yous lost their weight, still said but not the same. We were holding on to habits long after love had changed. You looked at me with tired eyes, like something couldn't stay. I felt the truth before you spoke, but I begged it to fade away. We didn't break, we faded, no goodbye to defend. Just two people loving quietly past where love couldn't end. I stayed hoping for a spark, you accepted what we were. We didn't end in pieces, we ended feeling unsure. Love shouldn't feel like a memory while it's still alive. It shouldn't feel like holding breath just to survive. If fading was the only way, I wish you'd said my name. Don't let me grieve a love that ended without a flame. Now I walk past all the places where we almost stayed. They still remember what we were before we slipped away. I don't hate you, I don't blame you, I just wish I'd known some loves don't break your heart in half, they leave you feeling alone. We didn't break, we faded, and that hurts the most. There's no weren't there anymore. Some endings don't need closure, they disappear with time. We didn't break, we faded, and I'll learn to be fine. Gave you all the parts of me I was saving for myself. I bent my truth to keep the peace, put you above my health. You asked for space, I called it love. I stayed when I should've gone. I told my heart this pain was proof that I was holding on. I thought loving harder meant loving right. The sacrifice meant real, but love shouldn't cost you everything just to make someone stay. I loved you more than I should, more than you ever knew. I gave you my whole heart while you were giving me half of you. I stayed quiet, I stayed small, I stayed when I felt wrong. I didn't lose you to someone else. I lost myself loving you too long. I learned how to need less from you, so you wouldn't feel the weight. I turned my wants into apologies, called waiting, being patient. You said I cared too deeply, like that was my mistake. But loving you was never wrong, I just loved beyond my place. You loved me when it was easy, when I didn't ask for more. I loved you even when it hurt, even when I was ignored. I loved you more than I should, more than I could afford. I kept giving second chances you never asked me for. I forgave what you wouldn't fix, I waited where you moved on. I didn't fail in loving you, I failed by staying strong alone. Love shouldn't feel like erasing yourself to fit inside someone else. It shouldn't feel like I'm too much just for wanting to be held. If loving you means losing me, then that's not love, it's fear. I won't keep setting myself on fire just to keep you here. Now I'm learning how to forgive myself for all the nights I cried, for mistaking loneliness for hope, for loving with my eyes closed wide. I don't regret the way I loved, I just wish I'd known. Some hearts don't break you by leaving, they break you by letting you love alone. I loved you more than I should, and now I finally see love should feel like safety, not like losing me. I'm choosing myself, than I should, and I won't do that again. I was doing fine for a moment, laughing like I'm okay, and someone said your name out loud and everything slipped away. It didn't hurt like it used to, it hurt in a quieter way, like my heart still recognizes you before my mind can say your name. I don't talk about you anymore, I don't ask how you've been, but healing isn't forgetting, it's learning where the ache still lives. Your name still stops me, like time forgets to move, like the room holds its breath every time I think of you. I don't cry, I don't fall apart, I just freeze where I stand. Your name still stops me, even now, even when I say I can. I don't check your profile lately, I don't replay the end, but your name still finds me in conversations with friends. It shows up when I'm not ready, in a song, in a street, and suddenly I'm back in the past with the love still incomplete. I tell myself it's just a sound, just letters in a line, but it still carries every memory I try to leave behind. Your name still stops me, like a bruise I didn't see, not bleeding, just reminding me of who you used to be. I've moved on in all the ways that people can, but your name still stops me, and that's how I know it mattered then. Love doesn't disappear completely, it just learns how to hide. It waits in names and places you thought you survived. If this is what healing looks like, then maybe I'm okay, but some parts of you still live in me, in words I don't say. Maybe one day it won't hit me, won't knock the air from my chest. Maybe your name will sound like nothing, just another memory at rest. But tonight it still holds power, still pulls me apart. Not because I want you back, but because you once had my heart. Your name still stops me, but I don't turn around. I let the moment pass me by, I let the feeling hit the ground. I don't reach, I don't go back, I don't pretend I'm strong. Your name still stops me, but it doesn't hold me long. Some loves don't follow you forever, they just leave a scar. Your name still stops me, and maybe that's how I know I healed this far. We talked about tomorrow softly, like it wouldn't ask too much. You spoke of open doors and freedom, I spoke of staying in your touch. You smiled when I said forever, but your eyes looked past the room, like you were already living in a different ending than mine. I kept thinking love would meet us somewhere halfway through, but love can't change the ending if the story isn't shared by two. We wanted different endings, different ways to say goodbye. I wanted roots and honesty, you wanted reasons to fly. I held on to what we were building, you were ready for the next beginning. We didn't stop loving each other, we just wanted different endings. You said I made it feel too heavy, I said you wouldn't stay. We called it timing, called it distance, called it anything but pain. I learned how to soften my dreams so they wouldn't scare you away. But love shouldn't ask you to shrink just to make someone stay. You listened when I talked about us, but your silence told the truth. You were already choosing the road that didn't include me and you. We wanted different endings, different kinds of peace. I wanted something lasting, you wanted something easy. I stayed faithful to the promise, you stayed faithful to your freedom. We didn't break from all the fighting, we broke one in different endings. Love shouldn't feel like compromise that only one heart makes. It shouldn't feel like I'm asking you to be someone you can't be. If loving me meant changing your dreams, then letting go is kind. Some loves don't end because they're broken, they end because they don't align. Now I see us clearer than before, without the fear or hope. Two good hearts on separate paths, trying to cope. I don't hate you, I don't blame you, I just wish we'd known love can be real and still not work when it's pulling two directions at once. We wanted different endings, and that's the hardest truth. There's no villain in our story, just different views. I'll carry the love we shared, even as I'm moving on. We didn't fail at loving each other, we just wanted different endings. Some goodbyes don't come with anger, just quiet understanding. I'll always care how our story felt, even if it ended differently than I planned. The signs were written in your silence, in the way you looked away. Every pause between your answers had something it couldn't say. I felt the ground begin to shift, still I told my heart to stay. I called the ache being patient and watched the color drain from us each day. I saw the truth in little things, the love that couldn't breathe. But I kept choosing what I wanted over what you showed me. I stayed past the warning, past the point of being strong. I held on to the hope you gave when hope was already gone. I ignored what hurt the most, I trusted what was wrong. I didn't break because you left, I broke because I stayed too long. You loved me when it was easy, when I asked for nothing more. But every time I needed you, you were halfway out the door. I learned how to swallow questions so you wouldn't feel the weight. I traded honesty for comfort and called it keeping the peace. You never said you'd hurt me, you just never said you'd stay. And I filled in all the blanks with love you couldn't give away. I stayed past the warning, past the nights I cried alone. I kept believing in you, maybe like it was written in stone. I waited for you to choose me, you waited for me to be gone. I didn't lose you suddenly, I lost myself, staying past the warning signs. Love shouldn't feel like ignoring the voice inside your chest. It shouldn't feel like survival just to give your best. If I had listened to my fear, I might have saved my heart. But love can sound like hope sometimes, and hope is hard to outgrow. Now I'm learning how to forgive myself for every line I crossed, for loving someone who showed me exactly what it would cost. I don't regret the way I cared or the depth of what I gave. I just wish I trusted myself before love turned into a wave I couldn't save. I stayed past the warning, but I won't stay here anymore. I'm choosing truth over wishing like I did before. I'll carry the lesson, not the blame. I'll let the hurt move on. I didn't fail at loving you, I just stayed past the warning. Some hearts don't break from sudden loss, they break from staying through the signs. I stay past the warning, and now I'm finally choosing mine. didn't raise your voice that night. You didn't slam the door. You spoke like you were careful not to hurt me anymore. Your hands were steady when you said it, like you'd practiced every line. I could hear you letting go while I was still trying to make you mine. You said you'll be okay, like that was something I could choose. But love doesn't break in violence. Sometimes it breaks in truth that's calm and smooth. Your goodbye was gentle, but it cut me just the same. You left without a scar to show. I stayed bleeding all the pain. You didn't mean to break my heart, you just couldn't stay. Your goodbye was gentle, and that's why it still hurts this way. You hugged me like you still cared, like this wasn't the end. You said please don't hate me, like we could still be friends. You walked away so quietly, like love is something kind. But I stood there in the silence, watching us fall out of time. You left me with no anger, no reason I could fight, just the hardest kind of heartbreak that looks like you did it right. Your goodbye was gentle, no blame, no bitter tone. You closed the door so softly but left me here alone. You didn't shatter everything, you didn't make a scene. Your goodbye was gentle, but gentle doesn't mean it's easy. Love shouldn't feel like gratitude for being let down slow. It shouldn't feel like thanking you for leaving me alone. If you'd hurt me loudly, maybe I could move on fast. But kindness makes the ending linger long after the past. Ooh, maybe someday I'll understand why you couldn't stay, why loving me wasn't enough to make you choose the same way. I don't regret the way you ended it, or how you tried to be kind. I just wish your gentle goodbye didn't echo so loud in my mind. Your goodbye was gentle, and I'll give you that. You didn't leave me hating you, just missing what we had. I'll heal from this in quieter ways, learn how to be okay. But your goodbye was gentle, and that's why it stayed. Some goodbyes don't burn the bridge, they leave it standing still. Your goodbye was gentle, and I'm learning how to live with it. I gave you my softest parts, the pieces I hide the most. Every fear I never said, every hope I held close. I let you see me breaking before I knew how to heal. I trusted you with my heart because you made it feel safe to feel. I thought love meant laying it all down, being open, being true, but I didn't know how dangerous it was to be soft with you. I gave you my softest parts and you held them like glass, but when it got too heavy, you let them slip through your hands. I stood there bleeding quietly, still trying to be strong. I didn't regret loving you, I regretted loving you alone. I shared my silence with you, let you hear my doubt. You promised you'd stay careful, then slowly checked out. You learned where it hurt the most, not to heal but to leave. I was giving you my everything while you were learning how to breathe without me. You didn't mean to hurt me, you just didn't know how to stay. But softness needs someone steady, not someone who walks away. I gave you my softest parts and you didn't protect them. You loved me when it felt easy, then forgot how much they meant. I'm still picking up the pieces of the trust I once showed. I didn't break from loving too much, I broke from being loved too little. Love shouldn't punish honesty or make you wish you'd stay guarded. It shouldn't teach you how to harden just because you care deeply. If being gentle made me lose you, I won't apologize. I'd rather heal with an open heart than survive by closing mine. Now I'm learning how to hold myself the way I hoped you would, to treat my softness like strength, like something that's good. I won't regret the way I loved or the truth I showed. I just won't give my softest parts to someone who won't hold them close. I gave you my softest parts and I'm still standing here, still kind, still open, still learning how to love without fear. I didn't lose my tenderness, I just learned where it belongs. I gave you my softest parts, now I'm giving them back to myself. Some hearts aren't broken by love, they're broken by being unprotected. I gave you my softest parts and now I'll guard them with care. You took your time with every feeling, I dove in without a pause. You measured every step you took, I trusted love without a cause. You said, let's see where this goes. I heard I'm here to stay. We were walking the same road, but moving different ways. I felt forever in a moment. You felt safe just standing still. Love doesn't fail from lack of feeling. It fails when hearts don't move at the same will. We loved at different speeds. I was running, you were slow. I was building something real. You were seeing where it'd go. I fell hard, you leaned back. I said us, you said maybe. We didn't stop loving each other. We just loved at different speeds. Space to learn my heart. I needed proof you cared. You showed up when it felt convenient. I showed up everywhere. You said I asked for too much too soon. I said you held too little back. I was giving you my everything. You were still reading the map. I kept slowing down for you. You never tried to. Love can't survive the waiting when only one heart's already begun. We loved at different speeds. I was ready, you weren't there. I gave you all my honesty. You gave me careful care. I stayed patient, stayed hopeful, called you distance, being free. Loving fast made me lose you. I won't say it was wrong. I'd rather feel it deeply once than learn a love half strong. Now I see us without blame, just timing out of sync. Two good hearts in different places, closer than we think. I don't regret the way I loved or the pace I chose to keep. I just wish you'd met me there instead of loving me asleep. We loved at different speeds, and that truth finally lands. I was holding on to futures, you were holding back your hands. I'll slow my heart for someone who's running next to me. We didn't fail at loving wrong, we just loved at different speeds. Some loves don't end in anger, they end in timing that won't align. We loved at different speeds, and I'll carry mine until it matches someone who stays. Oh. I thought love was enough to save us, enough to make you stay. I thought holding on a little tighter would push the doubts away. I gave you patience, gave you truth, gave you all my trust. I didn't know love needed more than just the two of us. I believed if my heart was honest, yours would learn to be. But love can't carry everything if one heart's already halfway free. I thought love was enough to fix the cracks. I thought if I loved you deeply, you'd love me just as fast. I stayed when it started hurting, called pain growing strong. I didn't fall out of love with you. I just learned love alone isn't enough. You said we just needed time. I gave you all I had. I kept choosing hope over truth, even when it hurt this bad. I watched you pull away slowly, still I held on tight. I was fighting for forever while you were letting go in quiet ways. You needed more than feelings, more than wanting to try. And I needed you to meet me there instead of saying goodbye inside. I thought love was enough to make it last. I thought caring more would save us from our unspoken past. I gave you everything I had. You gave me reasons why I didn't stop loving you suddenly. I just learned love can't survive on love alone. Love shouldn't feel like sacrifice only one heart makes. It shouldn't feel like convincing someone to stay when they're already halfway gone. If love was all it took, we'd still be standing here. But love needs choice and effort too, not just hope and fear. Now I'm learning how to love again without losing who I am. To know that wanting someone deeply doesn't mean they'll understand. I don't regret the way I loved or how much I believed. I just won't confuse love with enough when it's only coming from me. I thought love was enough, and maybe sometimes it is. But now when I'm the only one still choosing what this is, I'll carry the love I gave you, but I won't stay where I'm alone. I didn't fail at loving you. I just learned love needs more than love. Some lessons come wrapped in heartbreak, some truths come quietly through. I thought love was enough until I learned it takes two. You stood right next to me in silence, like you didn't know what to say. I was pouring out my whole heart, you were already halfway away. I made room for all your distance, called it love, called it grace. I didn't know I was loving alone until I saw your face. I thought patience proved my feelings, that waiting meant I cared. But love shouldn't feel like I'm the only one still standing there. You let me love you alone, let me give, let me try. You took the warmth of learning it and called never said you couldn't stay. You just never said you would. And I filled in all the empty spaces with love you never meant to give. You said you cared and cared for ways that never asked you to fight. I was loving with my whole heart. You were loving when it felt right. You let me love you alone. You let me believe in us. I was holding on to forever. You were holding nothing much. I forgave what you didn't fix. I waited while you moved on. I didn't break because you left. I broke because I loved you alone. Love shouldn't feel invisible or like I'm asking too much. It shouldn't feel like I'm replaceable just for wanting your touch. If you knew you couldn't love me back, you should've let me go. Don't let someone give everything to feel alone with you. Now I'm learning how to forgive myself for staying past the truth, for calling loneliness hope, for loving without proof. I don't regret the way I loved or how deeply I tried. I just won't stay where I'm the only one still choosing us. You let me love you alone, but I won't do that again. I'm choosing hearts that meet me halfway, not ones I have to defend. I'll carry the love I gave you, but I'll let the rest go. I didn't fail at loving you. You just let me love you alone. Some loves don't leave loudly. They fade while you still hold on. You let me love you alone, and now I'm learning how to love myself again. I still wake up reaching for you before I remember the truth. Your name still lives in my reflexes, even when my heart's trying to move. I don't hate you like I thought I would. I don't blame you for the pain. I'm just learning how to breathe again without saying your name. Some loves don't leave all at once. They linger, then slowly go. Healing isn't forgetting you, it's learning how to let you go. I'm learning to let you go, not because I don't care, but because loving you now means hurting just to be there. I'm putting my heart back together, piece by piece, slow and low. I didn't stop loving you suddenly. I'm just learning to let you go. I passed the places we used to be. They still feel close somehow. I smile at memories that once broke me. They don't own me now. I stopped waiting for your message, stopped hoping you come back. I'm choosing peace over the questions that I'll never get answers to. You don't have to say goodbye again, you already did back then. I'm just finally listening to the silence and letting it end. I'm learning to let you go, even when it still hurts. I'm learning that healing doesn't erase what it meant at first. I'll carry the love without the weight. I'll keep the truth I know. I didn't fail at loving you, I'm just learning to let you go. Love shouldn't feel like holding breath or begging to be seen. It shouldn't cost you your own heart just to keep someone near. If letting go is the kindest thing, then I'll be kind this time. I won't keep hurting myself just to prove I was mine. Maybe one day your name won't sting, it'll just be a sound. Maybe I'll love again without fear of losing what I found. I don't regret the way I loved or how deeply I tried. I'm proud I loved you honestly, even when I had to say goodbye. I'm learning to let you go, and that's my bravest step. Not walking away from love, but from the pain I kept. I'll open my heart again someday when it feels safe to know I didn't lose you in the ending. I found myself letting you go. We didn't last like we imagined, didn't make it to forever. But the nights we held each other close were honest, not a lie. You laughed inside my sadness, you knew my softest side. And even though you left my life, a few months stayed in my heart. I used to think if love didn't last, it somehow wasn't true. But loving you taught me something else I never knew. Love was real even if it ended, even if we let it go. Not every love is meant to stay, but that doesn't mean it didn't mean something though. I won't erase the way we felt or pretend it was a lie. Love was real even if it ended, and I'm learning that's okay. We outgrew what once held us, not because we didn't care. We just needed different futures, different air. You didn't break me by leaving, I didn't lose myself in you. We just reached a place in time where staying wasn't true. I held on long enough to know what we had 'cause I know what we shared had worth. You were a chapter in my life, not the whole book, and I'm thankful for the pages we wrote together. Love was real.